Look at that.
Beautiful, hey?
Wow. Welcome to episode 7 of my Te Araroa series, where I attempt to hike the 3,000 kilometer length of New Zealand. So far, my husband Brian and I have hiked 610 kilometers from the southern terminus of the trail. In this episode, episode 7, we hike 144 kilometers, that's 89 miles, over 6 days. We embark on the section with the highest point on the entire trail, and it snows on us in the middle of summer. We walk over mountain passes and through so many rivers. We also spot our first Kia birds and Himalayan tar. To say this was an adventurous section is an understatement. Let's get into the episode. Morning, we are just leaving our hostel now. It's time for us to start our next section here on Te Araroa, and it's going to be a big one. We have 6 days of food, over 100 kilometers this stretch will be, and it's going to be the most remote we've been as well. So we're both excited, tired, nervous, all of the things. If this is the first episode you're seeing in this series, welcome! I'll give you a little bit of information about the trail I'm hiking. The trail is called Te Araroa, which means the long pathway in Maori, the language of the indigenous Maori people. The trail spans 3,000 kilometers from end to end of New Zealand. My husband Brian and I are hiking in a northbound direction, which means we started at the southern terminus. Te Araroa is one of the world's most diverse long-distance walking trails, and it has proven to be the hardest of the 5 long-distance trails I have hiked. About 2,000 people choose to through hike it each year, which means they hike the entire 3,000 kilometer trail in one continuous journey. That is what Brian and I are currently on a mission to do. We are off the road now and on the trail. Feels great to be back on trail. We were both so tired this morning. Thought maybe we should take a 0, but that town the accommodation is so expensive. Wow. We thought, no, we can do it. We can hike. So that's what we're doing. And we're both really happy that we're out here. We had a rough first month on our hike, but we finally hit our groove. Today is our 33rd day on trail, and we are ready to start increasing our pace a bit and set our sights on this big climb up into this next mountain range.
We are quite a few hours into the day here, coming up on 4 p.m. The rain that was predicted has started, and to be honest, I'm in really good spirits. Overall, I'm feeling optimistic, proud of us for what we're doing today, and for this upcoming section, and extremely excited to bring you along.
Even though we are hiking in the middle of summer here in New Zealand, the weather can change at any moment, especially in the mountains. The rain was absolutely pelting down, and the wind was so strong it was blowing our ponchos around so much they were rendered almost useless. So we kept our heads down and just kept pushing. When the weather is this stormy, there is no use stopping to take breaks because we just get too cold. This is really intense. This rain, we're on the edge right now. We're 500 meters from the hut, thankfully, because honestly, if there wasn't a hut, we would have pitched our tents already because it's so rainy. But knowing there was a hut, we figured probably better to be in the hut than in the tent. But I am so drenched right now.
And I'm pretty much shaking. I don't have much body heat left. We're just gonna grab water and then walk up to the hut.
Okay. Snowed. Last night was horrible. I was so cold all night. I come out here and it snowed. It was such a cold night. Wow, even though we were in the hut, it's very drafty. A little bit slower start this morning, just feeling so cold and so tired, just a terrible sleep. It's absolutely breathtakingly beautiful, so that's a positive. And I think today is going to be a great day hiking. And the sun has come out, so all of our layers that were wet should dry. which is great. We stayed in the hut last night with 4 other hikers. There's 6 bunks in here. 2 are SOBO and 4 of us, including Brian and I, are NOBO, which is fun. We're kind of clustering up with some NOBOs right now. I'll show you the hut. All right, here's the hut tour. So there's 4 of the bunks and then the other 2. This is the kitchen area. Here's the kitchen area.
With Canada flag.
And there is a wood burning stove, which I kind of wish we used last night. This is my bunk I stayed in, and I had to tape that hole, and that hole because they were all leaking. Okay, we're ready to go. So thankfully it's a climb, so we'll be warm. And the snow's already melting. Wow.
Have you done a donation?
No.
Whoa! Off kilter, here we go.
We chose to hike the South Island section of Te Araroa at this time of year, December to February, so that we would be in the highest mountains on trail during summer. This meant that any snowpack from the previous year would be melted out, and the chances of getting snowed on were very low. But the chance of getting snow in the mountains is never 0. Although we were surprised to see snow this morning, we actually always expect that snow could happen at any time in the mountains. We put on some extra layers to stay warm and took our time route finding up to the pass. Sometimes the snow can cover the track, and we did end up straying from the track a couple times. But we just kept regularly checking our GPS on far out, and we were able to regain the track again relatively easily. Although the snow definitely made the day feel much more epic, it also added so much beauty to the day. It was a very special day. We're climbing up towards our saddle. We've got 2 saddles to climb today. Ooh, first one's the tallest. The snow really does make everything beautiful. This dusting, we're climbing up towards more and more of it, which is wild. When Aotearoa New Zealand was colonized by Europeans, they introduced many animals to the islands. Many of the animals introduced were for hunting. One such animal is the Himalayan tahr. In the early 1900s, the New Zealand Tourism Department introduced tahr to add to the deer that had already been established over the previous 50 years. Their goal was to entice more travelers to visit New Zealand. 11 tahr were released in the alpine areas of the Southern Alps of New Zealand. They didn't have any natural predators or competing animal species, so their population increased steadily. By 1970, their population had grown to an estimated 40,000, and they were having a damaging effect on alpine grasslands through overgrazing. A culling program was introduced, aided by helicopters. By 1984, their populations had dropped dramatically down to 1,000 to 2,000 tahr. New Zealand has the only substantial herd outside of their native India and Nepal. It is the only country where tahr can be hunted in a free-range natural alpine environment. Each year, thousands of local and international hunters contribute to managing these animals to limit their environmental impact.
It's so beautiful, hey?
On one hand, I was super excited to see these beautiful creatures, but it definitely felt bittersweet knowing how they impact the environment.
Nice work.
Wow.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
Okay, here I go.
Okay, I'll be right behind you. We made the saddle. It's our second big climb of the day. All we have to do is drop down like a kilometer and a half. And what we're going to do is there is a hut, but we are in an area where we can wild camp. So what we're going to do is as we drop to the hut, we're going to look for wild camp spots because we want to set up our tent tonight and just have a night on our own. It's been fun socializing with people, but it's nice to mix it up and have nights where you're not around a bunch of people. So that's our goal, is to see if we can find a little flat spot we can nestle our tent into. As our second day of walking through these mountains started to come to an end, we were both feeling weary. We found a spot for our tent with water nearby and fell asleep quickly. We made it to camp. We ended up doing 30 kilometers today, so really good day. See you tomorrow. Good night. Good morning. We're starting off at 7, so we gotta get going. Since the only native mammal in New Zealand are bats, the main native animals we keep an eye out for are birds. The Kia parrot birds are well known here, and we were both super excited to spot 2 of them this morning. Kias are known to be curious and mischievous and have stolen gear from hikers or damaged tents before. They are also notorious for their tendency to investigate vehicles, often resulting in damage to rubber seals, windshield wipers, and other parts. These intelligent birds will peck at and try to remove these parts, sometimes causing costly damage. We heard from our trail friend who stayed in the hut last night that they were noisily sliding down the metal roof all night and he barely got any sleep. They are such beautiful and funny creatures. In order to connect to the next mountain segment, the trail dropped us down into a river valley and had us walking in the river for several kilometers. We were able to walk beside the river quite a bit, but had to cross it too many times to count. The water was flowing strongly and we were both extremely focused. Naturally, this slowed our pace down quite a bit, but we would rather do that than take unnecessary risks. After our final water crossing, we climbed up into the next foothills and mostly walked through grassy plains for the afternoon. We crossed paths with many NOBOs, that's southbound through hikers, today and enjoyed hearing their tales of the trail. The wind picked up again and we quietly covered the final kilometers to camp. We have made it to the saddle, so a kilometer or 2 until our camp. We're at camp and it was a great day today, 30 kilometers. So we're camped in a nice spot and we're gonna do a shorter day tomorrow than normal, probably, depending on how we feel. Hopefully get a really good sleep tonight. I will see you tomorrow. In this week's gear segment, I'm going to quickly cover my fairy light setup. Asking about our lights is one of the most common questions I get from you guys. We bought a 33-foot long string of fairy twinkle lights with a USB plug. Then we plugged them into our power bank, which is the BioLite Charge 80 PT power bank. We find for the 20 to 30 minutes we have them on at night, they don't use much power. Important tip though, make sure you unplug them from the power bank and not just switch them off. We left them plugged into Brian's bank one night and the battery was fully drained by the morning. But whenever we unplugged them when we were done using them, they used very minimal power.
Good morning.
Morning. Good morning. We gave ourselves a little treat this morning and slept in a bit. And today we're going to try to do 25 kilometers. Hopefully it's a nice, relaxing day compared to yesterday. Today is our 4th day on this section. That meant we had eaten a lot of our food and our packs were lighter. The trail utilized mostly ATV tracks and a short stretch of road today, which made the pace quick. Today was one of those in-between days on a thru hike. It wasn't really exciting or really challenging. It was just steady. There can be so much beauty in these days because it can test your perseverance in a different way. The most memorable thing that happened today was that we crossed paths with many Sobos again, and one Sobo in particular. We stopped and had a long chat, which left all three of us in tears. Just had such an amazing encounter with someone who watched my entire PCT series on Instagram and was inspired to do a thru hike and is currently thru hiking, super close to being done like 2,400 kilometers at this point. Oh, we just had such a good conversation. One of the main reasons I share my stories of my hikes online is because I hope to inspire people to go outside in whatever capacity. Like, thru hiking is awesome, but in whatever capacity feels accessible to them, and to actually meet people doing it in the middle of doing it is just an incredible experience. And I want to thank you because you've helped contribute to inspiring this person to get on trail, because you support this channel, you watch these videos, and that helps more people get to see them. So thank you. We have arrived at camp. This is the hut here, and there's a bunch of spots you can pitch a tent to, and we generally like to be in our tent whenever we can, so that's what we're gonna do tonight. It's a bit windy, okay, a bit more windy than it just was, but we're gonna try to stake out the tent really well, so hopefully we still have a good sleep. And I'm in charge of the water because Brian's pitching the tent. We usually divide those two tasks up, and we're gonna try to go to bed early, like as soon as we can, because we have a big day tomorrow climbing up into these beautiful mountains. I've done all my chores now, finished eating, did my teeth, washed my face and my feet. I do that every single night, and bed's set up. The sun just set over the mountains, so it's time to get in bed and edit my video, my short form video that I make every day. And then I usually look at the map, and then I go to bed. So I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. We just started like 1 minute ago. You might be able to still see the hut behind me. And it is a little bit of a misty day. So we're climbing up to a high pass. Apparently the views up there are spectacular, but I don't think we're gonna see them today. The one bonus though is that it won't be as hot. Although I'm really starting to hit my stride on this hike, I was actually feeling kind of nervous today. It was a lot of elevation gain and loss, and I just wasn't sure how I would feel. But as we climbed, my nerves melted away. This was a very special place. Wow. Whoa. Oh. Look at that.
Beautiful, hey?
Wow. It's dramatic with the clouds too. Looks like we had to climb in that high saddle. We're about halfway up our big climb of the day. We made the saddle. It is so beautiful up here. Great feeling. Took us 3 hours to climb from the hut to here. We are on the descent now, We're gonna drop down into a river valley before reaching the first hut of the day. And we've heard from everyone that it's rough going. Lots of river fords, hiking in the river. Getting ready for that. It's probably gonna start soon. We made it to camp for the evening. This morning we woke up early to make our way to the next resupply point. We were almost out of food and very ready to stock up again. We had some trail hiking to do and then some road walking. Although road walking can sometimes feel tedious, I definitely enjoy getting to see all the adorable sheep. We arrived at a hiker-friendly camp spot where we were able to get our resupply package and get ready for the next section. We will start the next section in next week's video. See you then. Thank you so much for watching this video.